Hey, you know what, the big bad black sheep? Hot a fire, not a pretender or liar. You know? And it's another reasoning. You know, today I come with the idea to be more transparent, you know, with some things that I've went through and, you know, the process behind, you know, the purpose I choose to follow, you know, at this time. So today's topic is practicing integrity, you know. And before I get into this video, you know, I just want to say, you know, more strength to those going through, you know, rough times, even if it's not outside, you know, but maybe emotionally, mentally, you know. And in order for you really change that is to just accept it fully, you know, and integrate with it. It's the best way through it is to really understand it for what it is, you know, and not be denial of it. But yeah, so, you know, I notice we human beings, it is natural for us in our nature to defend ourselves, yeah. But most people want to protect not their mental state, not their peace, but a false identity, yeah. Now, many people would like to blame the Prime Minister or the leaders of a country for the problems that they have, you know. And they do contribute to it. But I would love to go deeper, you know, with problems, with issues. And what I'm trying to say is this, like, people lack integrity, yeah. And it's not just in the House of Parliament, you know, it's in the communities. Because even me per se, personally, where I come from and how, you know, how I grew up, it's like a constant fight, you know, from not just, you know, the people in my community, but family, you know, so-called friends. And all my life I've felt outcasted, to be honest, you know. I'm the scapegoat for my family, you know. Most people take out their problems, they choose to take out their problems on me, yeah, or to blame me for their problems. And it has taught me to be more assertive and to have even stronger boundaries. And it also made me not really trust people, you know. Yeah. Because, alright, for me, growing up, it was a mixture of dynamics. First, it was both parents, then that tower fell, you know. Father leave the household, and it wasn't even, say, with respect, you know, it was very toxic. But when that tower fell, you know, it was a lot of pressure even on my mother. So she put, I ain't gonna lie, she put a lot of pressure on me, you know. I don't have a close relationship with my mother. It might seem that way, but you know, when it comes to me being raised, it's like I can say that I raised myself, you know. She was just around for basic needs in some cases, yeah, but I am the one that basically raised myself. I want to take it slow, you know. I don't want to rush, because this is a very important topic, you know. And me speaking, you know, my side of the story, you know, with others, because, and I don't care, you know, what anybody wants to think after this, because many people have painted me as the bad guy many times in situations that I did nothing wrong, you know, and I just no longer care. But yeah, and so it was really rough, you know, at that time. Not to mention even prolonging the death of my eldest brother, you know, in 2009, which was another tower for me and my family. And, you know, growing up as a child, I see the dark side of many adults, you know, the reality of human nature. Because a lot of these adults, you will find it that they would be even jealous of children, you know. They have no substance, you know. They think that even a child, you know, having the ability to get their needs met more than they as a grown adult. Yeah, I find it strange that some of them are jealous, you know, of children. They have just some insane thoughts towards children. They don't see children as beings to be poured into and, you know, to be guided right. But not all of them is like that, you know. Some of them, majority of these adults, yeah. But yeah, my mother is very emotionally unavailable, and at a point I feel like I was heading down that road as well, you know. So, and plus, when it comes to my needs and issues that I have, it was always on the back burner, you know, the back burner when it comes to my family. They never really see it as, they never see it honorable to protect my emotions, you know, my mental state. Because in fact, they were the first bullies for me, you know. But yeah, so growing up now, going into my teens, you know, I started to experience sexual abuse, you know. And this was from this male that was living in the community at the time, you know, nearby. And he was doing like work because he owned a cable business at the time in Kentire. You know, I'm originally from Papine, Kentire, right? And the way that man came in, you know, I have to wonder if he and my family was working together, because he ended up that he befriended my mother, got close, and started to pretend like he's the one dating her, when in fact, you know, he was sexually abusing me. And many people knew this, yeah, even my own family, and they turned a blind eye to it. You have even a cousin that's supposed to be first cousin with my mom. She went around and started to even spread it as a rumor, you know, and even the man as well. And I had to defend myself. And when he even saw that, because that man is a warlock, you know, man. I'm telling you. I couldn't say I don't believe in witchcraft, because I've seen witchcraft first fucking hand. Yeah. But that man tried his best to control me, to groove me. And as I got older, right, I started to fight against him, you know, and to deny him, because nobody would stand up with me, you know. I had to fend for myself as a child, you know. And when he realized he can't do it anymore, you know, he decided, say, he's going to destroy me some other way. So he started to spread rumors, saying that he slept with me and my mom. He slept with mom and daughter, right? And people were so glad to hear such a nasty thing, you know. Because you have this set of family in my community as well, where it's like a group of siblings, 2 males, probably 3 of them, but they have many sisters. But one of those males, right, he has gone around so much in this community to molest, you know, people's children, and even his own, you know, because even the last child he molested was his own, you know, that caused him to go to jail for a while. Which people like that shouldn't even be alive, to be honest. You see? Because people who are going to corrupt children, come on, man, are the devil that, you know, deserve life. But anyway, with all of that happening in my life, people show me who they are, you know, and a lot of them as family has failed me, you know. And I used to carry that around so much, to the point where I blamed myself, you know. But my mother never protect me, my sister never protect me, my brother them never protect me. I remember a time where my mother had she changed the lock and she had some keys. And instead of giving me one of the keys to, to have access to the house, she gave the man instead. Yeah. Now, him go around, and think say him all powerful and nothing wouldn't come out of it because my family wouldn't defend me, But spirit show itself, to me that even if people don't stand by you, in spirit you have many protectors. Because how me see, him try to just destroy my being, my whole existence, yeah? And it never work, and to see him just wither away to a slow death, like rotten from inside out, slowly, yeah, off of this earth, yeah. It's just amazing, because I'm just here to just make you, anyone out there that has gone through isolation, devaluation, dehumanization, assault, abuse. You don't lose hope, Because one thing with some people, they are so unconscious of their own morality. They don't realize that they can easily disappear, And people who do evil things don't think they triumph over you. They will disappear, They will all disappear. But yeah, the people in community fight down each other the most, more than any government. Yeah. In the workplace, people now have no integrity. In the church, in any institution at all, because when perversion are go on and dysfunction and toxicity, yeah, everybody mouth silent. Nobody no want to say nothing. You see? Can me remember a time, when me evil, because it bothered me. I went through so much carrying that weight, right? And that has pushed me on my spiritual journey. It has made me search outside of myself for healing in wrong places, But what I've learned and what it has made me become, don't lose hope. You can use it to create purpose, not just for yourself, but those like you. And I am here, to be like a mother to the outcasted, yeah, to the black sheeps, because I understand. And it's not because you did anything wrong. It's because you are truth and most people live a lie. Yeah. Now, when I decided to go into Rastafari, I never go out and search for it, When I talk about even my the mentor and the ex, yeah, I want you to understand that me even gracefully leaving these people alone bruise their ego to the point where they can't leave me alone, you know. These people, I see that these people would go out of their way, you know, to destroy my life. And I willfully isolate because I don't take it light, you know. I literally see that these people would want to see me 6'6" underneath the ground. Yeah. But yeah. So in this community that I live in, there are so many males here. And a lot of them believe that they should be having sex with these younger females. You know, they not even reach 13 good. Them just want bust a little breast. And you have one especially we famous for doing that, yeah? We claim to say him love him fatty. Him no love fatty, a children him love. Now before him get him bus, him usually run taxi and him use that, yeah, as a way to target people, girl children, and abuse them sexually. The boy they were named Stylex, yeah, a big dirty pedophile in a Kentire. And him have a mother who work black magic witchcraft to keep him out of jail. Yeah. Enough of them women are wicked too. Them go around and protect some degenerate males' image for whatever fucked up reason. See? These things, these people can't talk about. Them like to sit down and keep secrets for. Yeah? No integrity. And I'm going to get into the definition of integrity. I have some pointers here, you see, but I just want to just share, you know, a piece of the process to this purpose. Because it takes a lot of strength to talk about what I have gone through, because I remember days where it was hard, it was shameful, you know, to even think about it. It was like I was in a loop, you know. And I've learned many lessons from people, whether it, you know, they were toxic or healing to my life. There were lessons to be learned, and I'm grateful for it. Yeah. But when a person lack accountability, yeah, and they have no integrity, that on the other hand is an issue. You see? Because them, you see, people just like to group up, you know. And them same people, let them burn out, them talk about the Prime Minister, but as soon as the members of Parliament come into the community at election times, those are the same people behind them, you know. So they can't really be honest with themselves. They can't really stand on business. Yeah. So the practice of integrity. Yeah. I have a lot of secrets for people, you know. You know. I know a lot of things. And That's why I don't really worship image. I don't care to be liked, because I see behind the facade of who people really are. Yeah. And before I even go any further, what I have experienced, I as a woman in my teenage years, I've had boyfriends, but I've experimented with women, right? So I know what a lot of things look like. Yeah. I know a lot of down low people, men and women. See? And I'm just keeping it real. I have nothing to hide. I have nothing to be ashamed of. Because I know who I am. And I know that I don't sleep around for money or for positions. See? Now, integrating with that, my sexuality, when I used to do it, I decided to stop before I came into my 20s, because I realized that a lot of women battle with, betrayal wounds, sister wounds, mother wounds. Like the women in their lives have betrayed them. Seeing? And even me myself have experienced it, and it's a problem. It caused them to just be like males, very trifling. And I want no parts of that, so I decided to just leave that shit alone. So, with me leaving that alone and just trying to just change, see life different, when I met, and let me not call him my ex anymore, because I've released that energy with grace. Yeah. It's just that these people behind the door, they cannot leave me alone. But anyway, let's call him Anti-Natural. So, I met Anti-Natural in my community. I was coming from river one day and he was asking for a direction to the river. Showed him. I end up gave him a number. So, yeah, when I did that, we prolonged with, conversations till one time he asked me if I would do this ceremony, this ayahuasca ceremony. So he was telling me about it and thing, and I agreed. It was in Mobi at the time, that was like in 2022, 2023. If not, maybe I'm mixing up the dates, but it was in those times. And yeah, that moment, it's like it stripped my ego, I started to feel again, because going through all of that, as a child, I feel like I was disconnected from my own emotions, and that moment gave me a chance to really feel again. Like I felt joy, I felt everything, like when I was a child, you're sensitive to everything. But yeah, Anti-Natural saw that as an opportunity, you know, to take advantage, yeah. And let me mind you, he knew a bit of what I went through, yeah. Not because he wanted to help, but to take advantage and, you know, do his damage. Because I'm telling you, that man tried to do everything. Like, it's like every day he wakes up and just sit down and just think of all kind of fucked up ways to just do some things to break my spirit. Yeah. And he's a person that hates the fact that he can learn from me as well, as much as I could learn from him. You know, he was so jealous. It's like he wanted to live through me. Yeah. If he could cut me out of my skin and wear it, he would. But in the long run, you know, I get to understand Anti-Natural for who he is. And I get to find out that he is on the down low, you know. He is indeed struggling with his own sexuality. Because he was using me as a beard. Behind closed door, you know. It's a problem, you know. He's not available. But if we should go out in public, he wants to look like he is this loving and caring guy. But the things that I have found out, you know, it's just so funny. And, man, I'm telling you, being around Anti-Natural, anytime he eats food, he has to instantly go to the bathroom. Not to mention, you know, because I genuinely, you know, he has told me his story and I try to show him different, but no matter how nice you are to males, that's a waste of times. They don't want help. They don't want help. Yeah. But yeah, I get to find out this man is struggling because when I would wash even his underwear, I would see stains, you know, of feces. Not to mention the obsession with homosexuals. Because if you are not an homosexual, you wouldn't care if a man is, you know, if he might buy roots, if he is buying anything from you, you know, you sell him and you make him move on, you don't care. And then the next thing too, you know, ain't no way you should be curious of why a man is gay. Like, it's shaky, you know. And I'm not trying to judge anybody, but you should just be yourself. And when I went into Rastafari and see that most people are hiding, you know, them true selves and condemning those that have a pure heart, you know, and different. It's our projection. Yeah. Cause remember at this time when we supposed to go this festival, me and Anti-Natural. And he was like giving me caution, and I never care why either, cause like people, you know, it was like saying you a lot of gay people is gonna be at the festival and I shouldn't talk to them. I'm like, why? Like, what is sense? If somebody come for a product, what am I supposed to do? But then again, when we were at the festival, you know, this guy that had a boat beside us, he was clearly, you know, homosexual, and the bond that I saw between that virgin and anti-natural, I knew it. I knew that, yo, this man think he can hide, you know, or play hypocrite, because people are so hypocritical. You know, the very thing that they condemn is the very thing they have a problem with within themselves. You see? We have some more stories, but we're gonna go, you know, cut this and go in a part 2 and probably some more parts, but you know, I take it slow today.